I'm Flavia Lovatelli and I'm originally from Italy. I love paper. Paper has always been my go-to. Whatever I'm doing, paper is something that fascinates me or attracts me.
I've been a painter for a long time. Originally, in college, started painting figures and landscapes and learning how to paint realistically as best I could. And then I had a good long stretch of doing just abstract work. And it was only during the pandemic, for whatever reason, that created a different mindset, a shift, and I started wanting to paint, try exploring the figure and including some animals in my work.
I started recycling very early on, so it's just a domino progression or effect of all my stuff that I've done where I am now. It's one of those things, you start somewhere and everything just, makes you migrate, let's say. I came to doing coral because of documentary, and I saw it and it was very similar to the work that I was doing at the time as far as plastic abstract sculptural things, and it reminded me of what I used to snorkel in Italy. So all of it has trace of memories, but you don't hash up on those until you're there.
So I got interested in this idea that your perspective and the stories that you tell yourself lead you to different conclusions, and everybody comes up with a different idea about what the truth is in the end. So I wanted to explore how the stories that we tell ourselves affect how we treat others, affect how we make decisions for our life. The paintings are a little mysterious, they're ambiguous. I like to combine the sort of abstract, surreal sort of landscapes and then put a random, sometimes just plain random variety of figures and animals together to spark a response that would change for whoever saw it.
When I work with the materials I'm working with, I can only manipulate them so much. So I have to allow myself or allow the product the grace to do its thing. The storytelling is in my head as I'm progressing with it. And it's just a story that the thoughts that come to me.
So I like to start off with just an abstract mishmash of color. And sort of like Jackson Pollock, just throwing watering paint around. And then so you look at what you've got in this abstract form and begin pulling out information from it. So that looks like a good area for a figure, or that's your horizon line, or in the woods, and all sorts of comes together. The plants and animals are literally spontaneous, like in the moment. And then the story begins to develop, and it's not really until at least halfway through or towards the end of the painting that I even know what the meaning might be for me.
Everybody inspires me as an artist. I go to a lot of exhibits and I participate in a lot of them too. So it's everything inspires me in the creation of my work, but typically it's as I'm working on a piece, something will inspire the next from that particular piece. It could be the foil in the color or the absence of it or something else. I think I'm very lucky that I'm constantly inspired by something. Like I have work, I don't stop. I'm constantly working because the ideas keep coming.
I do get inspired by an artist quite a lot. I do tend to gravitate towards paintings that are a combination of abstract and realism. Gerard Richter, maybe, who blurs some of his portraits, or Jenny Saville, who does like the really colorful figures. Even going back in time, I was always a big fan of Turner, especially toward the end of his career, when his paintings were they were so impressionistic, like they were just almost abstract, really. And then nature, can't not get inspired by nature.
So everything on offer the world is offering us so much that we are just taking advantage of. Everything in our lives is there for us for the enjoyment or for the picking. The world has so much to offer, and sometimes take advantage of it and sometimes just disregard it.
I mean, I do love color myself. The thing is that with my work, I am stuck with what magazine colors are printed.
I know the color what's going to happen when I mix these two colors together, and exactly what color blue that is, or what color blue that is. Yeah, so it does make it easier in that regard, because you can go exactly to the color that you want, and usually be fairly successful. I've also learned over time that putting too many colors on your palette is probably not the best idea, and try not to paint out of the tube. Mix your colors.
Love for the world and nature. Try to possibly instill some desire to conserve a little bit more.
Hopefully they draw people in. Like you would actually spend some time in front of it looking and exploring and thinking. It would be great if people could become conscious of the stories that they're telling themselves, and in that end, maybe step out of them, or try to explore whether or not you can leave one story and start another story, because I feel like that's where the magic happens, that's where the potential, and that's where everything on offer exists. There's magic there.
I have a solo show in 2026 at Brooklyn Gardens, and a solo show also 2026 at Valdosta, Georgia, at the Arts Center there.
Coming up, like just the end of the summer, there's a group show down in Pullen Arts Center in Raleigh, and then Gaston County has a museum up in Dallas. And I've got a solo show coming up there towards the end of the year.